ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delayed Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at the local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. National Malaria Control Week in Central Region. Efforts to develop community-based sport activities in Barantu. U.S. national debt tops $35 trillion. Venezuela asks 7 Latin countries to withdraw diplomatic. On our local news, the National Malaria Control Week, organized by the Ministry of Health branch in the Central Region under the theme "Let's Strengthen Our Efforts to Eradicate Malaria," concluded today with the event in Sarajaa subzone. Mr. Kabrab Tesfa Mikael, head of the malaria control at the office branch, indicated that the prevalence of malaria, which is about 0.4% in 2018, has declined to 0.08% in 2023. He also said that strong efforts will be exerted in accordance with the global plan to eradicate malaria from 2016 to 2030. Mr. Kabrab also mentioned that about 20,000 impregnated bed nets have been distributed at the regional level, and malaria diagnosis has been conducted on 76,425 people, with 2,781 of them found infected by the disease. Mr. Kflamariam Gabramaskal, administrator of Sarajaa subzone, highlighted the death and socioeconomic harm caused by malaria on families and called for integrated efforts from the public and stakeholders to fully eradicate the disease, indicating that so far communicable efforts have been made to eradicate this disease. Mr. Tesfahiwet Abraha, head of the field facility in the subzone, called for reinforced participation from the public and the partners in this effort. At an activity assessment meeting conducted in Barantu, a call was made to develop community-based sport activities. Mr. Idris Saleh, Director General of Culture and Sports in the region, noted that the sports sector requires strong community involvement and support. He called for prioritizing sports activities to ensure continued strong community participation. He also reminded attendees that investments in sports should be measurable and take into account the resources available in the area. At the occasion, activities reports were presented by sports representatives and heads of federations. Mr. Tesfai Teke, head of the sports in the region, called for properly exploiting the available resources for sports development and reinforced integrated effort from concerned government and PFDJ institutions, administrators, and the public. Mr. Gabraslase Nagash, Director General of Administration and Finance, emphasized investing in children for sustainability of sport development, seeking alternatives to boost income from the sports activities, conducting sport activities aligned with available resources in the subzone, and encouraging the community to play a significant role in supporting sport activities. The participants conducted extensive discussion on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch in Haikota subzone rehabilitated 7 disadvantaged families with livestock and material for small-scale businesses. According to Mr. Takhlakidane, head of the office branch, 5 disadvantaged families in the administrative areas of Fanko, Gobash, Bilkai, and Haikota were rehabilitated with livestock worth 10,000 nakfa each, while 2 families are provided materials from conducting small-scale businesses and 5,000 nakfa each. Mr. Takhlakidane also called on the beneficiaries' families to take advantage the support they have received and become productive members of society. Improving their livelihoods, the beneficiary families commending the support they were provided and expressed their conviction to work hard and improve their livelihoods. The viewers will be back with the international news shortly. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. The U.S. has reached yet another dubious milestone with its national debt surpassing the mark of $35 trillion, the U.S. House Budget Committee announced on Monday. The head of the committee, Republican Judy Arrington, branded the development an alarming milestone, urging more fiscal and spending responsibility fix in blunting national debt growth. Arrington said this in a statement expressing hope that the Republican Party will be able to somehow alleviate the situation if Donald Trump wins the November election. The U.S. national debt has skyrocketed in the recent years under the leadership of President Joe Biden and his predecessors, President Trump, who had repeatedly pledged to reduce it during his 2016 campaign. On our last news, Venezuela on Monday called on the governments of Argentina, Chile, Costa Rica, Peru, Panama, and Dominican Republic of Uruguay to withdraw their diplomatic staff accredited in the country. The measure, announced in an official statement released by Venezuelan Foreign Minister, and also called for withdrawing Venezuelan diplomatic staff accredited in those nations. Venezuela has accused the governments of these 7 countries of interference in its internal affairs, especially the presidential election held on Sunday that saw President Nicolas Maduro re-elected for a third 6-year term. Those countries are subordinated to Washington and committed to ideological postulates of the international fascism, according to the statement. We've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. National Malaria Control Week in Central Region. Efforts to develop community-based sport activities in Venezuela. U.S. national debt tops $35 trillion. And Venezuela asks 7 Latin countries to withdraw diplomatics. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good one.